If you're watching this video, you're probably wondering about those Social Security changes everyone's talking about. And more importantly, when you'll see that extra money in your checks. Well, I've got good news for you today. I'm Naim, and after helping thousands of retirees navigate their Social Security benefits, I know exactly how confusing these updates can be. Today, I'm breaking down everything about the latest increase in the Fairness Act in plain English. No government jargon, just straight talk about your money. You know what's interesting? Many folks I talk to don't realize they might be leaving hundreds of dollars on the table each month because of a few simple oversights. In fact, just last week, I helped Martha, one of my viewers, discover she was eligible for an additional $200 monthly that she didn't even know about. In this video, we're covering three critical things. First, exactly when you'll see that increase hit your account. And yes, I'll give you the specific dates. Second, how the new Fairness Act could affect your benefits, including some surprising changes that aren't making headlines. And third, I'm sharing 5 practical strategies that could help boost your benefits, including one little known tip that most financial advisors don't talk about. If you're concerned about making the most of your Social Security benefits, especially with today's rising costs, you'll want to watch this entire video. I promise you'll walk away with actionable information you can use immediately. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Why? Because every week, I share new insights about maximizing your retirement benefits. And I don't want you to miss out on information that could put more money in your pocket. Plus, sharing this video might help someone else in your life who's trying to make sense of their Social Security benefits. Let's get started with those important dates you need to know. Let's dive right into the body of your YouTube script, continuing from where the hook ended. The big question on everyone's mind is about those important dates, so let's start there. The latest Social Security increase isn't just a one-size-fits-all situation, and your specific payment date depends on your birth date, something many people don't realize. If you were born between the 1st and 10th of the month, you'll see your increased payment hit your account on the second Wednesday of each month. Those born between the 11th and 20th receive payments on the third Wednesday, and if your birthday falls between the 21st and end of the month, expect your payment on the fourth Wednesday. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. That's great, but when does the actual increase start? The good news is that the increase is already being rolled out. Some of you might have noticed a slight bump in your recent payments, but the full impact of these changes will be most noticeable in your upcoming checks. The Social Security Administration has been working behind the scenes to ensure these adjustments are implemented smoothly, and I've got to say, they're doing a pretty good job considering the massive scale of these changes. Let me share something interesting that happened just last month. One of my viewers, Bob from Michigan, reached out to me because he was confused about why his neighbor seemed to be getting more in benefits than he was, even though they had similar work histories. After looking into his situation, we discovered he hadn't accounted for some of his military service years in his benefits calculation, a mistake that was costing him nearly $150 every month. This is exactly why understanding these updates is so crucial. Speaking of updates, let's talk about the Fairness Act and what it really means for you. There's been a lot of confusion about this, and honestly, some of the information floating around online isn't entirely accurate. The Fairness Act is designed to address some long-standing issues with how Social Security benefits are calculated, particularly for people who've worked in both the private sector and government jobs. This is bigger than just a simple payment increase. It's about making sure everyone gets their fair share based on their complete work history. You might be wondering how this affects you personally. Well, if you've ever worked for a state or local government, or if your spouse has, these changes could have a significant impact on your benefits. The Act aims to eliminate what's known as the Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, and the Government Pension Offset, GPO. Now, I know these terms sound like bureaucratic mumbo-jumbo, but stay with me because understanding this could put more money in your pocket. Let me break this down with a real-world example. Sarah, another viewer of mine, worked as a teacher for 20 years and also had a part-time job in the private sector. Under the old rules, her Social Security benefits were reduced because of her teacher's pension. But with these new changes, she's looking at potentially receiving her full Social Security benefit alongside her teacher's pension. That's a game changer for many retirees in similar situations. Now, here's something crucial that many people overlook. These changes don't happen automatically. You might need to take specific actions to ensure you're getting everything you're entitled to. This is especially true if you've had multiple careers or if you're eligible for benefits based on a spouse's work record. The Social Security Administration is good at many things, but they can't always catch everything automatically. Let's talk about those 5 strategies I mentioned earlier for maximizing your benefits. The first one might surprise you. It's all about timing. Many people don't realize that the age at which you start taking benefits can make a difference of hundreds of dollars per month. I'm not just talking about waiting until full retirement age versus taking early benefits at 62. There are actually several sweet spots in between that could work better for your specific situation. I recently worked with a couple, Tom and Linda, who were planning to both start their benefits at 66. After reviewing their situation, we discovered that by having Linda claim at 66 and Tom delay until 70, they could increase their lifetime benefits by over $100,000. Now, this strategy isn't right for everyone, but it illustrates why understanding all your options is so important. The second strategy involves maximizing your earnings record. Many people don't realize that their benefits are calculated based on their 35 highest earning years. If you have fewer than 35 years of work history, those missing years are counted as zeros, which can significantly reduce your benefits. Even working part-time for a few extra years can make a big difference if it replaces those 0 years in your calculation. Here's something that really opened my eyes recently. I was reviewing benefits with a viewer named Richard who had retired but was doing some consulting work on the side. He didn't realize that his current earnings could actually replace some lower earning years from early in his career, potentially increasing his benefits. This is especially relevant now, with more seniors finding ways to earn income through the digital economy. The third strategy focuses on spousal benefits, which have become more complex with recent changes. If you're married, divorced, or widowed, you might have more options than you realize. The rules around spousal benefits changed significantly a few years ago, but there are still ways to maximize your household's total benefits through careful planning and timing. Let me share a story that really drives this point home. Margaret, a widow in her early 60s, came to one of my workshops thinking she could only claim either her own retirement benefit or her late husband's survivor benefit. What she didn't know was that she could actually claim one benefit first and switch to the other later, potentially increasing her lifetime benefits by tens of thousands of dollars. The fourth strategy involves understanding how working affects your benefits if you claim them before full retirement age. There's a lot of misunderstanding about this. Some people think they can't work at all once they start receiving benefits, while others don't realize that earning too much could temporarily reduce their benefits. But here's the key point. Any benefits withheld due to working aren't lost forever. They're added back to your benefits later. I recently helped a viewer named James understand this concept. He was worried about taking a part-time job because he thought it would permanently reduce his Social Security payments. Once he understood that the reduction was temporary and could actually lead to higher benefits later, it completely changed his retirement planning strategy. The fifth strategy, and this is one that often gets overlooked, involves understanding how Social Security benefits are taxed. Depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxable. But there are legal ways to manage your other income sources to potentially reduce how much of your Social Security is subject to tax. Now, let's talk about something that's been causing a lot of concern lately: inflation and its impact on Social Security benefits. The cost of living adjustments, COLAs, are designed to help your benefits keep pace with inflation. But there's more to the story than just the percentage increase you hear about in the news. Understanding how these adjustments work and how they interact with Medicare premiums can help you better plan for the future. I want to address something I've been hearing a lot in the comments of my previous videos: concerns about Social Security's long-term stability. While it's true that the system faces challenges, it's important to understand what these challenges really mean for your benefits. The system isn't going bankrupt, but it is facing funding issues that need to be addressed. This is exactly why staying informed about legislative changes like the Fairness Act is so important. Here's something practical you can do right now. Create an account on the Social Security Administration's website if you haven't already. This gives you access to your earnings record and benefit estimates. And it's the best way to spot any errors that might affect your benefits. I can't tell you how many times I've helped people find and correct errors in their earnings records that were reducing their benefits. Before we wrap up, let me address one more crucial point about the recent changes. The Social Security Administration is working on modernizing its systems and services, which means more options for managing your benefits online. However, This also means you need to be extra vigilant about protecting your personal information. I'll be making a separate video about security tips next week, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that important information.